Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm your host, Cryptid Master Katie, coming at you from the lair of the Cryptid Master Katie YouTube channel. In today's episode, we will be discussing a cryptid so horrifying, so scary, it'll make you never look at lamb chops again. A remarkable story of sheep gone savage. But before we get into this tale, I'd like to ask you something. Please, if you're new to the channel, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you're new, please leave a like and just hit that little notification bell button. It helps me so much. We want to expand this channel further, so please give me a good subscribe on that YouTube channel, Cryptid Master KD. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to share this story, share my great YouTube channel. It goes so much to me, both for here and right here. Alright, now that we got that out of the way, let's get into some stories of sheepsquach. The legend of sheepsquach goes back to the early people in the Appalachian Mountains, where legends tells of a big creature, part mutton, part monster, all savage. The creature is mostly described by many eyewitnesses as, well, like this. See? This here, people, is sheepsquach. One of the most and as you can see, the most terrifying creature you could ever encounter. It also has another name, the white things. Legends of creatures like this go back to the early times, to the early first settlers. Peaches, get your tail out of the frame. Like I was saying, stories of sheepsquatch go back to the early to the first pilgrims of Appalachia who came from Europe with stories of demons that took the form of sheep's clothing. And if you look at sheepsquatch, you would know that that is 100% properly. The creature is described as 9 feet tall. Oh, and you've already seen what he looks like. So, with that out of the way, people, let's get into an eyewitness story. Our story begins in July of 2004 in Brinks Ridge, Kentucky, County, Kentucky. Among the many great eyewitnesses, this is one of the best eyewitnesses that we ever got. High school buddies Ricky Joy and Dakota Crees went for a hunting trip in Ricky's grandfather's cabin. But there they often used used it as a base camp. Yeah. At first, nothing happened, yet the terror that was to come would soon change their lives forever. That night they heard the dog fussing in the outside, and but they didn't think too much of it, which was a pretty stupid move. Sorry, but it really is. If you hear the dogs outside, you pretty much want to check it out. Because even if it wasn't sheepsquatch, it would most likely be a bear or a mountain lion or something natural. Which is why I offer to all my viewers, please, if you have a dog and they start barking outside erotically at something, be sure to just check it out. Anyway, like I was saying, the next morning, to their horror, they found their dog with his neck twisted into a did perfectly back. This was the first act that sheepsquatch would have on their lives, where the dog was dead. At first they tried to call it over, but it was didn't move, and they later found it was dead. This pushed them to do something that they didn't think they would ever do. They loaded themselves into a camper for the night as the sun was starting to go down. Soon, shortly after her falling asleep, they were awakened by a strange guttural sounds coming off the ridge of the hillside. And soon they became panicked as their trailer began to shake uncontrollably. Sheepsquatch was letting them know who the real ruler of this mountain was. The the next morning they went out. Soon this was the point where they had enough. Sheepsquatch was terrorizing them. And in Ricky's own words, you have to know one thing. And I advise this to all of you. If you can't coexist with these creatures, they have to go. That is when something extraordinary, early scary happened. They loaded their weapons, set out to find the elusive sheepsquatch where it was so that they would drag it out of the woods and put an end to the terror. That is when they saw it. They saw sheepsquatch as they pulled their two motorbikes near an old cemetery. That is when they saw the legendary sheepsquatch. Even with their loaded guns, they had managed to load their guns. Even with their loaded guns, the terror was too much. And they ran back down the mountain. And sheepsquatch charged hard. They don't know if they hit it. They don't know if they perfectly got it. But the terror that haunted them would forever stain them as them. They swear, both Ricky and his friend and Dakota swear to this. They still go out fishing in the woods, but perhaps this time they will be more humble when dealing with the beasts of Appalachia. So, and that is when one thing they made for sure clear in their exact words, that one of these days, if we have it our way, we're gonna drag sheepsquach out of those woods. Show it to the world. Well, Ricky and Dakota, I wish you both luck. Sorry about your dog. But life happens. Alright, so we're gonna wrap this up. This has been a short video, but I'm trying to keep mine 10 minutes long so all of you can enjoy it quickly. Please, if you're new to the channel, you know what to do. Thank you so much for tuning into this channel, to this awesome, terrifying encounter on this channel. I love you all. Peace out. More videos are yet to come. Next step, the next video we'll be doing is Puckawatchie lore. Until then, peace out.